Namaste. So welcome to the another class. Today we are going to discuss about the signal flow graph representation. It's a new topic. In the previous classes, we discussed about the block diagram reduction techniques, where we are going to represent the given system in terms of blocks. And we know what are the different rules we have studied, how to apply the block diagram reduction technique and find out the transfer function of the given system. So that was somewhat little bit very time consuming, right? The block diagram reduction technique is a time consuming technique. To overcome that, so today we are going to learn a new topic that is called as signal flow graph representation. What is the meaning of signal flow graph representation? Means it is a graphical representation of a given variables. Or for a given set of equations, we are going to represent in terms of graphical way. So that we are going to call as what? Signal flow graph representation. So before discussing anything related to this one, so let us now try to do with an example. Let us study this with an example so that it will be very easy for us to understand. Okay? So now here one question has been given. So consider the system equations as given below. So the equation, the system equations has been given over here. That is V1 is equal to 2Vi plus 3V2. Like this, we have a set of 4 equations are 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are totally 4 equations has been given. So now we are going to write this equation in terms of a graph. So where Vi is an input variable and V0 is an output variable. When you consider these equations consist of both dependent variables and also the independent variables. So let us consider the equation number 1. So in this equation number 1, there is V1 is equal to 2Vi plus 3V2. In this, the dependent variable is a V1. This value of V1 is dependent on value of Vi as well as V2. So therefore, V1 is a dependent variable, whereas V1 is an independent variable, whereas Vi and V2 are dependent variable. I will repeat once again. V1 is a dependent variable, whereas Vi and V2 are independent variable. Why? Because the value of V1 depends upon value of Vi as well as V2. These 2 and 3 are the constants. How to represent this in terms of a signal flow graph? As I told, Vi is the input. So we are having Vi as the input and V2 and V1 are the variables, right? So we have the dependent and independent variables. So let me write in this. So the variables are represented as a small circles. Okay. So the variables are represented as a small circles. In this equation, how many variables are there? There are totally 3 variables are there. So these variables will be represented as small circles. These small circles are called as nodes. Okay. So Vi is there, V1 is there, and V2 is there. Okay. So there are how many variables are there in this equation? There are 3 variables are there: V1, Vi, and V2. So these variables are represented as small circles. So these are called as nodes. Okay. Vi is also a node, V1 is a variable, and V2 is a variable. Now what is the relation between these two? These variables are, see, this V1 is equal to 2Vi. So what is V1? So there is a relation between Vi and V1. So V1 is equal to 2V1. There is a relation between Vi and V1. The signal is going from Vi to V1. Okay. So therefore they are going to represent in terms of paramours. So what is the transfer function of that? So this relation is called as what? Branch. So I am connecting these 2 variables with a line. So that we are going to call as what? Branch. Okay. So what is the transfer function of this branch is 2. Are you getting my point? So V1 is equal to 2Vi. Next, what else is there? Plus 3V2. So we are getting the signal from the variable 2, right? Right? V2 to V1. Okay, so I'm getting the signal from V2 to V1 is getting the signal from V2. So that can be written as a signal, right? With the transfer function, what is the constant? So this is the 3. So this equation number 1 is represented like this. Okay, continuation. So V2 is equal to 4V1 plus 5V3 plus 2V2. Okay, so apart from these three variables, what is the extra variable over here is the V3. So therefore I am going to represent another circle. So this is called as what? V3. Now what is the equation? V2 is equal to 4V1. So V2 is equal to, V2 is getting the signal from V1 with a constant of how much? 4. Okay. Next 5V3 plus 5V3. So V2 is getting the signal from which one? V3 with a constant of how much? 5. Okay. I am going to represent like this. So this is with the 5. Okay. So next plus 2V2. Okay, so V2 is equal to what? 2V2. So that means it is going to start from here and it is going to end it over here. So with the what? The constant of that branch is 2. Got it? So V2 is equal to 4V1 plus 5V3 plus 2V2. So here please pay attention. 2V2. V2 is equal to 2V2. That means there is a branch which is starting from V2 and also ending at the V2. So with the constant of what? Transfer function of 2. Next, what is the branch? Next equation number 3. Let us consider the equation number 3. V3 is equal to 5V2 plus V. Excuse me. We have a V0. Okay. Another variable, that is a V0. What is the V0 means? Output variable. Now we are writing the equation for which variable? V3. So V3 is getting the signal from V2, right? Getting the signal from V2 with the branch is a 5. Branch gain is a 5 plus V0. This V3 is also getting the signal from V0. So what is the constant here? 1. So this is a 1. Okay. So this represents this equation number 3. Now what is the equation number 4? V0 is equal to 6V3. What is V0 is equal to 6V3. V0 is getting the signal from V3 with a branch gain of 6. Okay. So the branch gain of 6. V0 is equal to what? 6V3. Okay, so there are 4 equations are there which represents the system. Okay, so this overall equation consists of how many variables? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are totally 5 variables are there. These 5 variables are represented as small circles that we are going to call as what? Nodes. What is the relation between these two nodes is represented with the help of what? A straight line with the arrow mark. The line connecting with these two with the arrow mark that represents the branches. Nodes and branches. The whatever the number which are written above that branch, so that represents the gain of that path. Okay, gain of that branch. Okay, what is the gain of this branch from between Vi and V1? It is 2. What is the gain of the branch V1 and V2? It is 4. Like this. So whatever the numbers we return, this represents the gain of that branch. So this is how we are going to represent the given set of equations in terms of a graphical representation. So that we are going to call as what? Signal flow graph representation. Okay, now we have another problem over here. So what we have to do is block diagram to signal flow graph. So whatever the block diagram has been given, how to represent this in terms of signal flow graph. So that is what our objective of this problem. Okay. So here I have taken an example. So what we have to do is, so we need to consider summing point 1, we have to give the naming summing point 1, take off point 1, summing point 2, and here takeoff point 2. So here we can consider here that two summing points are there, right? So there is nothing, block is not there. So in that cases we can consider this as a one single summing takeoff point, or else if we name it also no problem. So rather than that, we are going to consider this as a single takeoff point. So here there is no block between these two takeoff points. Hence we are going to consider this as a takeoff point 2 for the both. Okay, no issues in that. So now how to represent this one? So we can represent this one. So always summing point, right? Yes, one. So wherever the summing points and takeoff points are there, I am going to consider that one as a node. Okay, summing point 1 is there, therefore I am going to consider the one node. There is a takeoff point 1 is there, I am going to consider node T1. So there is another summing point is there, so I am going to consider this as S2. There is a takeoff point 2 is there, I am going to consider T2. To represent this input and output variable, I am going to consider another one. So this one I am going to consider the Vi input, or you can just take it as a, so no, it's not required. Okay, so let us, wherever there is a summing points, takeoff points, I am going to consider the node, and please represent this as a R of S as an input signal, and here it will be a C of S, that is the output signal. So these are the different variables that we have. Now how to represent this one? So from summing the input to summing point 1, so there is a signal which is coming. So there is nothing is given, so I am going to consider this as a 1. Next, between S1 and takeoff point 1, so what we have? We have a block, right? Between summing point 1 and this takeoff point 1, we have a block. So what is that block is G1. So this is called as branch gain between S1 and T1. So G1 represents the branch gain. So first I am going to write the forward path. So between T1 and S2, what we have? G2. So we are going to represent the G2 over here. Next, between summing point 2 and takeoff point 2, what we have? We have a G4. I am going to represent the G4 like this. So this G4, G2, G1 and 1 are called as branch gain. Okay. Next one. There is a signal from T1 to S2, right? So it is going above, right? T1 to S2 there is a signal. Where is the T1? So T1 to S2. So there is a signal G3. If nothing is there, that means it is considered as what? Plus. So it will be what? Plus G3. Okay. Next, we have a signal from takeoff point to summing point 2. Takeoff point to summing point 2 with a branch gain of what? H2. Here we have a what signal? Negative feedback signal. So therefore, takeoff point 2 to summing point 2 with a branch gain of what? Minus H2. Are you getting my point? Why it is minus H2? Here we have a negative feedback is there, so that's why it is called as minus H2. From this takeoff point to those, we have a summing point 1. If nothing is there, means it is a positive. What is the branch gain of from takeoff point to summing point 1? It is H1. So I am going to represent this one like this. Okay, so this is a H1. Okay, and we have an output. So there is a C of S. So this is how we are going to represent the given block diagram to signal flow graph. Next, in further classes, I am going to tell you what is the meaning of Mason's gain formula, how to find out the transfer function of a given signal flow graph. Then you are going to appreciate what is the difference between the signal flow graph and the block diagram reduction technique, and how it is easier than the block diagram reduction technique. That is very much easier. Okay, so this is how we are going to represent the given block diagram to the signal flow graph. Next, there are different steps are there to find out the transfer function of a given system. Okay, so this is about another problem. So now let us discuss what are the terminologies we are going to use in the signal flow graph representation. Okay, now let us discuss the terminologies which is required for us to go for the further steps to solve the various problems. So what are those the terminologies over here we are going to use is, the first one is called as source node. What is the meaning of source node? The node which is having only outgoing signals. The node which is having only outgoing signals, then that is called as source node. So in this example, what we have written, so here which is a source node, which is called as RS example. In this case, the example is called as RS. Why it is called as RS? In this node, only there is only outgoing branches. So then that one is called as what? Source node. What is the meaning of sink node? The node which is having only incoming branches. The node which is having only incoming branches, then that we are going to call as what? Sink node. What is the example over here? It will be here the last node. This node is having only incoming branches. Then it is called as what? Sink node. Here the example is C of S. It is a sink node. Now, what is the meaning of chain node? The node which is having both incoming signals and outgoing signals. So that we are going to call as what? Chain nodes. How many chain nodes we have? Here S1, T1, S2 and T2. So these nodes are called as what? Chain nodes. Example in this case S1, T1, S2 and T. So these four nodes are called as what? Chain nodes. So these nodes is having both incoming signals as well as outgoing signals. So this is called as what? Chain nodes. So next one is called as forward path. Forward path. What is the meaning of forward path? So the path from the sink, so from the source node to the sink node. What are the different paths are there from the source node to the sink node? So that we are going to call as what? Forward path. So here how many forward paths are there? Let us check. Okay. So from R of S I can go to S of 1, S1, T1, S2, T2 and C of S. So this is one path, right? I repeat, R of S to S of 1, next to T1, next to S2, next to T2, next to CS. Right? So this is one forward path. I can go to R of S to C of S with the another path also. How is it? See, I can go from R of S, S1, T1. Please consider this one. I am going above this one. The arrow marks should be in the same direction. I can't go in the reverse direction. Okay? So T1 to S2, S2 to T2, then C of S. So this is one forward path, and this is the another forward path. So there are how many forward paths are there in this example? There are two paths are there. That means it is a path from the source node to the sink node. What are different ways that we can travel but without going in opposite direction to the signal arrow mark? Okay. So this we are going to call as what? Forward path. Okay. So next one is called as feedback path. What is the meaning of feedback loop? Feedback. So here when we consider here, so feedback loop means the loop which starts and end at the same point. Okay, I repeat once again. Feedback loop. What I am explaining here is a feedback loop. Fifth one, right? Feedback loop. Okay. So I am explaining the feedback loop. What is the meaning of feedback loop? The loop which starts and end at the same point. It should travel at least another path. It must travel at least one other minimum node. For example, so here we have a different forward path. Sorry, feedback loop. So here, so there is a loop which is starting from S1 and also going to end at S1. At least it need to travel the other node also. For example, S1, T1, S2, T2 and back to S1. Are you getting my point? S1, T1, S2, T2 and back to S1. So this is one feedback loop. There is another feedback loop from S1. See S1, T1. See I am going above S2, T2 and back to S1. So this is also another feedback loop. What is the condition? At least she should travel another node. So it is starting from S1. At least it need to go to the another node and come back. So then only it is called as what? Feedback loop. So from S1 we have how many feedback loops are there? There are two feedback loops. S1, T1, S2, T2 and back to S1. So this is one path from S1, T1. See I am going above and S2, T2 and back to S1. From S1 we have how many feedback loops? There are two feedback loops. In the same way from S2, right? From S2 I can go to another node T2 and come back to the S2. Okay, so S2, T2 and back to S2. So this is another feedback loop. Okay, so some terminologies we discussed today. In the next class I am going to discuss further terminologies which is required. Okay, thank you. Namaste.